Hey YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be breaking down the new BR Season 5 program in MLB The Show, breaking down the cards for a little bit, and then breaking down the quickest way to get this done. If you've not subbed to the YouTube channel already, please click the sub button. It helps out a lot. Also, click like in the video and comment if you're a Kenley fan or a Bryce fan. I personally think Bryce Harper looks sick, but Kenley also looks like arguably the best reliever in the game too, so that's another W as well. But going through the program really quickly, same as it's been before, 100-point program. The 90-point card is Jorge Posada. We'll talk about this in a second, but before we do that, let's go into the missions here. It's the same missions as before with the repeatable ones, and then they've made this easier than it has been in seasons past with like bases. So 40 total bases in a single event, extra base hits in a single event, strikeouts in a single event, extra base hits, and now we get into the player missions specifically. So the players themselves: Carlos Santana, Mitch Moreland, Seager, Betances, Eddie Matthews, Castillo, Buhner, and Billy Widener. These might be the worst BR program cards that we've ever had released, which absolutely sucks, but the rewards to get to the end are very good too. So first off, we have 95 overall Jorge Posada. Like I mentioned, this is the 90-point reward in the BR program. You could argue this card is not very good because of his contact. It kind of reminds me a lot of Carlos Santana's first baseman card that could play catcher as well. But Posada, a decent swing, but these 90 overall cards, or the 90 overall Posada's contact way higher than this one. The power at 100 is really nice. Like, I can't argue with that. And then him having gold defense at catcher is nice too. But it does stink about the like the contact. I wish it was a lot higher. But regardless, your 90-point win in the program is Jorge Posada. So before we get into the card that I'm most excited about, I want to talk about Kenley Jansen, who's also a phenomenal card too. If you look at his cutter here, it is 99 control and 99 break. Kenley Jansen, in my opinion, is better than Mariano Rivera. I think Kenley's a little bit harder to read, and the fact that his cutter has like basically the same stats as Mo's does, and a very good sinker as well. The one thing that doesn't look great on this card is that the velocity discrepancy. You know, I talk about how you want a guy topping at 100, and you want like a changeup or a curveball that can go down to like high 70s, low 80s. Well, mid 80s is all you get with Kenley. So at one hand, your opponent knows fast stuff is coming, but all of it is moving pretty well. Like the cutter, the sinker, slider, changeup, fastball, 5-pitch guy. Kenley definitely a W, and he's a part of not only going flawless, but if you go 100 points into the program, which is relatively easy, I'll talk about that in a second, he's one of the cards you can end up unlocking. Now, the card that I'm most excited about by far is this Bryce Harper. This is similar to the card we got back in MLB 20. It might be MLB 19 now I think about it. But Bryce Harper's MVP card, 99 overall. I've been waiting on a juiced Harper for a long time. He's going to absolutely destroy righties as any lefty would. But the thing that I love about Harper is that he's one of the few lefties in the game that I feel like you can hit lefty-lefty with if you struggle with it like I do. And he has 108 contacts, so on Hall of Fame, you'll have a big PCI. On Legend, you'll have a decent PCI as well. And then another thing to note about this Harper too is that if you parallel 5 him, now I know it's not in the near future, but in the distant future with Harper, right? If you parallel 5 him, he has gold defense in right field, and you couple that with like 80 reaction stock, a phenomenal arm. This will be a very good defensive card too. So Harper is going to be an awesome card in your field. Also, I mean, he's bleeping Bryce Harper. He's a phenomenal card at the plate too. Going over the BR goals really quick, we begin with Mitch Moreland. I talked about how these cards are very underwhelming. Like, there's really not any card that stands out that can help you hit a ton, other than you want to get these guys for their missions, obviously. So if you've never done a BR program before, you draft these cards in these BR rounds. So you'll get one per draft at least. You could get more. But there's missions tied to these players that specifically have to be done for you to get more points in the program. So, for example, Mitch Moreland, 84 overall right here. If I port over to the missions, it says with Mitch Moreland, as I have to move myself out of the way here, it says with Moreland, you have to get a home run. One home run with Moreland, you're done. So, in theory, you could redraft a ton of times to get these guys, but I would just try and like have fun in a BR run to see if you can pick them up. And then great, and if you can't, then I would definitely for sure like make sure you get one per draft. But other than that, man, these are like the mission cards that are in the program here. We go back in the gold really quick. Betances here, Seager, this card's brutal. Carlos Santana's worse than his gold, which is really weird too. Like, this is going to be a tough program to finish because these cards aren't very good. And then going to the silvers, Wellington Castillo, Billy Wagner gets a card as well, and Jay Buhner, along with Eddie Matthews, is always a fun card to use in BR. Kevin will definitely want to play BR to get this silver Eddie Matthews. But going back into the program a little bit more and how the best way to finish this year. So again, you want to redraft until you at least get one of these mission guys. So if you finish all of the player specific missions and these extra base hits and like strikeout missions in the program, you'll already be at 61 points. So 61 right off the rip would put you right about here. So you have already gotten a ton of silver and gold cards, some stubs, and you'll be a couple away from a ball as a habit pack. Now, the other parts of this too are winning BR games gets you 1 point. Going 12-0 obviously gets you a lot with 20 points there. And then 9 wins in a row would give you 10 points there as well, or just 9 wins total in the event. But overall, it's a quick summary of the BR program. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on if your team Kenley, team Harper. I feel like they're both going to be pretty decent cards, but I'm leaning Harper. I hope you guys have fun playing BR, and I will catch you in the next video.